It's easy to question our significance. What are you, or I, or indeed all of us together, when considered in the vastness of space and time? What is our place in all of this? What is our purpose? What is our story? The fact is, we are significant, even in the universe. Because our home, Earth, is significant. And Earth, in turn, is significant because of us. There are billions of planets in the universe. The vast majority are likely to be lifeless worlds. Once upon a time, Earth was just another among them. Unstable, hostile. But unlike all the other planets of which we have knowledge, Earth's story has other chapters. And those chapters were written by life. Surviving precariously alongside hot water vents. If life exists elsewhere in the universe, this is probably its most common form. Simple organisms surviving in what we would consider hostile environments. But on Earth, life began to change, increasing in both numbers and forms. Spreading over the planet. Life has a superpower, the ability to evolve. This means that over time, living things can become better and better adapted to their environment. As new life forms arose, they became ever more complex, their interactions ever more involved. And in the process, Earth had become a different kind of planet. It is now a planet with a biosphere, a living world that in fact made Earth more habitable, more stable. But there were limits to life's resilience. enough to blot out the sun and poison the seas. Or an asteroid strike that sent shockwaves around the globe. Millions of species disappeared at these times. Mass extinctions. But life's superpower meant that each time the biosphere reset itself and rebuilt. And each time new wonderful life forms evolved. We don't know of any other planet with a biosphere like that on Earth. A vast, interconnected web of species, each playing its own part in an unconscious union with every other. Together, making use of the planet's minerals, creating soils rich in nutrients, pooling and sharing its water, creating nutrient cycles that involve thousands of different organisms, harnessing the energy arriving from beyond the Earth. Earth's biosphere throws with life, ever-changing in its composition, yet stable as a whole. We suspect that planets with biospheres as complex as this are extremely rare in the universe. But rarer still is what Earth became in its next chapter. After the last mass extinction 66 million years ago, the biosphere once again started to rebuild. But this time, a few particularly remarkable species appeared. Earth became home to creatures with sharp minds, strong social bonds, and complex ways of communicating, much like the great apes, elephants, and dolphins we know today. Earth was now even more special in the universe. The only planet we know of with intelligent life. And this is where our story begins. Our species, Homo sapiens, appeared more than 300,000 years ago. We were an animal unlike any other. Still a part of nature and vulnerable to starvation, disease, and predators. But our complex brains enabled us to have ideas and to communicate these thoughts to others. As a consequence, we could adapt to new environments within generations. Our bodies were changing very little, but our minds were filling with astonishing ideas on how to live more successfully on Earth. It was a different form of evolution. 15,000 years ago, humankind existed as about 1 million hunter-gatherers spread in small bands across the globe. Surviving in a world lurching between a string of ice ages. It's not hard to imagine that we ourselves could have become extinct on many occasions. We were perhaps the cleverest species to have ever lived. Yet the restlessness of the world around us kept our numbers small. Until something remarkable happened. The climate settled, and the world we know today began to flourish. disappeared from much of the Earth, leaving two permanent ice caps in the far north and south. Tropical forests span the equator. Developed. Coastal waters teemed with life. Regular rains allow the great grasslands to flourish. To expand through the higher latitudes. For over 10,000 years, the planet's average temperature did not waver more than plus or minus 1 degree Celsius. Rarely in its entire history had the Earth been so benign, so calm, so balanced. In several places across the globe, groups of people took advantage of the reliable climate and settled for years on end. They started to cultivate plants and tame animals. Homo sapiens had begun to learn how to farm. More food supported more people, and so the skills of farming spread across Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. Civilizations bloomed. Cities arose. Human culture, the world of our ideas, exploded. 1920s. There were almost 2 billion people on Earth. We were connected as never before. New technologies enable us to travel and explore the globe and to share the experience.
Tonight, we talk about the
It was an exciting time. We were seeing and understanding more about our world with each passing year. Our curiosity and ingenuity were boundless. But amid this period of exploration and innovation came a moment that changed the tone.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We have ignition sequence start. The engines are on. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit. We have liftoff. Liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
In 1968, 3 humans left Earth's orbit for the first time. Cameras allowed those back on Earth to share in the adventure. We had set out to explore the moon, but what we discovered was the Earth. With that photograph, we saw the whole of our planet for the first time. Alive, but fragile and finite. The only place we could call home. We began to realize that our story and our planet's story may not be aligned. We were no longer just a clever animal finding smart ways to survive. We were world changers. A species with the power and skill to affect the entire planet. We humans are a conundrum. We use our brilliant minds to invent spectacular solutions, yet at the same time create monumental problems. We can communicate and send goods across the world. We have destroyed 1/3 of all the forests on Earth. We have radically improved literacy and education worldwide. In only 70 years, we have tripled our population. We have removed most of our predators and conquered many diseases. We now use half of all the planet's habitable land to raise food for ourselves. And we've caused 2/3 of all predatory fish to disappear from the ocean. We know how to generate as much energy as we need. We have altered the mix of gases in the planet's atmosphere to dangerous levels. We've increased our average life expectancy. We still have a very unequal world, in which some people have so much, while others struggle with so little. We are living creatures that have started to damage the biosphere we rely upon. What happens next in our story? If nothing changes, science predicts that it won't end well. We are now, in effect, acting like those ancient wayward asteroids. We're upsetting the Earth's entire system. And, just as before, the biosphere will reset. A mass extinction. Nature will find a way to do it again. It always has done. But for thousands of years while it does so, the prospect for the generations that follow us is grim. They will be trapped on a planet that can no longer adequately support our kind. But does it have to be that way? In the 1970s, I, like many others, believed we were witnessing the inevitable demise of the great whales. After centuries of hunting, their numbers were so low, it seemed likely that they might never recover. But we chose to protect them, abiding by global agreements to save these ancient, magnificent creatures, some of which were already on the brink of extinction. And the results have been spectacular. As some great whale populations, like the humpbacks, began to increase, we realized how important they are to life in our ocean. Whales circulate nutrients, helping to create entire food chains, enabling countless other marine creatures to flourish. The more the whales recover, the richer life in our ocean becomes, and the more we benefit. The return of the whales revealed a fundamental truth. Nature is not simply beautiful, fascinating, nice to have. It is the key to our survival. The recovery of the great whales gives me hope. It's tempting to focus on the faults of mankind, to blame ourselves, to regard ourselves as a parasite on this beautiful planet. But after a long life exploring our world, that's not the way I see it. Instead, I see us as the ultimate problem solvers, smart enough to achieve anything we put our dazzling minds to. That, indeed, is our superpower. So let's use it for good. Let's put our minds to solving the greatest problem we face and build our human world to work with the planet rather than against it. The good news is that this work is already well underway. People around the world are coming up with the solutions we need. A sustainable future is within reach. Indeed, we can already imagine what this future world would look like. It will be a greener world. It will be a world powered by renewable sources of energy. The air we breathe will be cleaner. The streets will be quieter. Our economies and the products we use will be designed to have as little impact on nature and the climate as possible. Our diets will be healthier and cheaper to produce because they will be more plant-based, supplemented with sustainable meat and seafood. We would encourage nature back whenever and wherever we can, in the knowledge that a greener planet is simply an easier, more reliable and more enjoyable place for us all to live. Govern our nations as stewards of a planet shared with others and with the rest of the living world. This could be the next chapter of our story and of the Earth's story. A time when we and our Earth are finally finally back on the same page. When Earth becomes that rarest thing of all, a planet with not only an intelligent species, but a wise one too. Will we ever get to this place? Only you can answer that question. Of the 100 billion or so humans that have ever existed, it's only those alive today that can build this future. It's a huge challenge, but if we cooperate and communicate, as only humans can, we have the most wonderful world to look forward to. Now is the most exciting time in history to be alive. For in the vastness of space, the unimaginable extents of time, your life is truly significant. You have the opportunity to help write the next chapter in our story. And you have the whole of our natural world, billions of years in the making, as your ally. Seize this moment, for it will not come again. I told you that you were important.